Hello and welcome to the third in a short series of Diagnostik80'S reviews with me as your host, Diagnostik80. I know we've done this a few times now. In this particular series, I recently travelled to Boss Fight HQ and managed to steal production samples of their awesome Wave 5 Vitruvian HACKS figures, and I'll be continuing with the Demon Profiteers, Eligor and Gomory. So as I mentioned, I visited the new swanky Boss Fight HQ a little while back, and while I was there I saw the as yet unreleased Wave 5 of Vitruvian HACKS. I also sneakily filmed short reviews of each and Snowden'd my way out of the building like a boss with this secret intel in hand. Don't worry, Boss Fight will never find out as long as I remember not to post this to YouTube. Before we delve into the newest piece of plastic crack from Boss Fight, let's try and unravel their inspirations for these new characters. So let's fumble around in demons first off. Ancient Greece is where the term derives from, and their word daimon was more to do with a spirit or divine power, and was even used to describe the divine inspiration of Socrates, courtesy of Plato. The later Christian interpretation describes a demon as something much more frightening indeed, as a harmful spiritual entity that can cause possession and will need exorcism. In the mid-17th century, a number of centuries-old materials were compiled together to form the Lesser Key of Solomon, also known as Clavicular Salomonis Regis, or Lemmageddon. I've probably butchered both of those pronunciations, which is basically a demonic spellbook. It is divided into 5 books: the Ars Goetia, Ars Thurgia Goetia, Ars Paulina, Ars Almadel, and Ars Notoria. The Ars Goetia is where we find 72 demons, including 2 very interesting demons, Eligor and Gomory. Eligor is also known as Abigor, or Eligor as we know him, and is a great Duke of Hell who rules 60 legions of demons, which when you think about it logistically is staggering. He can find hidden items, predict the future of wars, and knows how soldiers will meet. Usually on the battlefield, I'd imagine. Very specific skill set there. He attracts the attention of important people and rides a semi-skeletal and sometimes winged horse given to him by Beelzebub himself, created from one of the dead horses from the Garden of Eden. He is often depicted as a goodly knight carrying a lance and a scepter. Gomory, on the other hand, also known as Gyneron, Gemyem, Gomory, or as we know them, Gomory, is a strong Duke of Hell who governs 26 legions of demons. The difference with this version, however, is that she is often depicted as a beautiful woman with the crown of a duchess either on her head or tied around her waist, and riding a camel. She can tell you all things past, present and future regarding hidden treasures, and procures the love of women, young and old, but especially maidens. What Boss Fight have done is basically take the lesser used names and attach them to these new demonic characters, making them profiteers, which sounds fun but always has negative connotations. I mean, it's rarely profiteering legally off alternative clean fuels or the cure for cancer. In fact, it's never that, because that's the definition of profiteering. Anyway, to the figures, or technically figure, that will have the accessories to create both characters. To make things easier for me, I have used 2 figures to show what accessories go with what character. First off, they look amazing. The red skin and huge wings look great and hold up well despite the weight of them, especially the spread wings. Each character gets slightly different stuff and different head sculpts for obvious reasons. For ease of identification, Eligor has the 4 head horns and Gomory has the ram horns. Starting with Gomory, it's interesting that these 2 characters were chosen, but I have it on good authority that Boss Fight just like the names. The characterization is all Boss Fights, as the 2 original demons would more closely resemble one of their knights and a female in Gomory's case. Either way, we have 2 very cool figures in one here. As I said before, you'll be getting one of these, but it will be packed with all the accessories to make the other character. Gomory is left shirtless, and that makes sense when you think that another secondary would be difficult to fit into the package as is, and would require a completely separate figure release, so I get what they've done here. Plus it makes you buy 2. The head sculpt is sensational. So much detail packed into this one piece, it's just magnificent. The ram horns are so cool and the face has so much personality. You can really feel a sense of evil with the eyes and that smirk. The waist piece with the tail is another cool touch and really makes the figure. He has his wrist gauntlet with the book chain for the left wrist, and he gets a dagger. The open book with flame conjuring spell effect, and those cute little boot cuffs for the final touch. So bloody cool. The hairpiece actually comes off this one, but it is a production sample, and I've been told this will be glued down on the actual final release. But you do get a cool bald demon, which also looks terrifying. Eligor, on the other hand, is a completely different beast, and it only takes a few changes to make him. The different head sculpt is incredible yet again, and the different horns and hairstyle really separate the 2 visually. The secondary is what does it for me though. He gets the closed wings, but these can be switched out if you wish, but this jacket is stunning. They've even designed it to flow around the tailpiece under the back of the jacket. So cool. He also gets a dagger, as there will be 2 in the set, and the closed book that attaches to the wrist gauntlet or waist piece. I can't get over how cool that jacket looks, and as I mentioned before, the head sculpt helps differentiate the two so well. Overall, we have 2 for the price of 1 here, even though you know a lot of people will be getting 2 of these to ensure both characters are covered at the same time. For those that just like to complete the line, 1 will suffice of course, and give you multiple options for display. Once again, the designs are fun and super interesting, and I can't wait to see what Paddy has done for the bios here. The beauty of what Boss Fight have done so far is the world they have built around their figures. Even though they have taken inspiration from myth, legend and history so far, they have always put their own twist on it, and in doing so have allowed their characters to come to life. That is evident here, and like I said, I can't wait to see what they have in store for these 2 naughty rascal demons. That's it from me for this one. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you for the next figure from this as yet unreleased wave of hacks, Calvaris the Elven Ranger. I have been Chris McLeod, and you have been wondering how I got past the demonic employees into Boss Fight HQ. PS, these beauties will be available at some point in 2019, so just chill the out and be patient.